Welcome everyone. This video here will just show you how to set up a Bitmex account, how to actually get in, set up the account, how to fund your account, and also a quick drive through the platform itself, just so you guys know how to enter a trade, how to set a stop loss, and how to get out of the trade. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'll just punch in this code up here. This is an affiliate link. This way, if you do decide to use this, you know it is actually the legitimate site, but also if you use this link, you'll get some discount on your trading fees as well. Alright, so you'll see a page like this. From here, just punch in an email address. You can create an email address if you like, just specific for this, or just use your standard everyday email address. Punch in a password, create a password, put in some details here, register. From there, they'll send you a link. This is just to confirm it is actually your email address. So open that email, could be in your junk file. Give the link a little bit of a tickle, and then you should be able to log into your site. So once you're in, you should see something like this. This should be the platform page. Yours might be a little bit different because I've just had a play with mine and customized it. This little tab here is what you can customize it. You can have a price chart if you want, something like this. If you don't like it there, you can move it around the page, whatever you want to do. I currently like this setup here. I like to have the order book, the depth chart rather than this chart, because I use my own personal charting software. So we will just get rid of that chart, and the first thing you want to do is fund your account. So just go up to the accounts tab here. You want to tickle deposit, and that's your address there. So you need to send some funds over to this address. Just be sure that you copy it correctly, you get the right address. Send it over from wherever you're holding your Bitcoin. Send some to here. Shouldn't take too long to clear, maybe half an hour, something like that, and then you're literally ready to go. So just before we move on to the trading platform, I strongly recommend that you set up two-factor authentication. You already have a password for your account now, but also two-factor will just add an extra layer of security, stop you getting scammed. Just go to Security Center in the Accounts tab. You'll see it here, and you should see a bit of a guide what to do. Just follow the steps and away you go. I personally use Google Authenticator. You can get it on Apple and also Samsung. There's a couple other different ones out there too. They're all much of a muchness. No big deal. Just when you do it, make sure that you take a screenshot of the barcode, and also there's a number, or I don't know, it's like a 20 or 30 digit password. Make sure you copy that, because if you change phones, you lose your phone and you need to reenact your account. You will need that to get back into your account. If you lose it, you have to contact support, and it can be very, very time consuming. So just make sure you do that, and then we're set to go. So go back to the trade platform, and let's look at entering a trade. So this is what we want to bring up here. Limit price is the price that we will enter a trade. Quantity is how many contracts that we want to trade. Generally, we will enter a trade using 10% of our account balance. So our account balance is over here. We want to trade 10% of that per trade. So the first step is set your leverage. When I make a trade call, I'll have all these details on there. In fact, just give me a second, I'll bring up an old trade call. So here we have an old trade call. So this one's Litecoin. We're going long. We're using 10% of our account size. This is the price we want to enter. We have two targets to take profit. We also have a stop loss, and I've also outlined the leverage that we use. So that's all that we need to enter a trade. So this particular case, let's do an example on Bitcoin. Let's go long on Bitcoin. So you just want to make sure that you select Bitcoin up here. There's ADA, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Ethereum. So just make sure you're on the right tab, and we want to set the leverage. So on that trade call that I just showed you, it will have the leverage. In this case, we want 10x, and if you need to adjust it, you can just click down here. It'll automatically adjust it. And if we do choose a leverage that's not preset here, we can type in our own leverage. So let's just say we want to go 17x leverage. Easy done, and it'll get displayed there. But just for the sake of this example, let's use 10x. So let's have a look at the chart. So let's say we're on a support level here. Let's say we want to go long. Price on the measuring tool is 9,563. So you can actually just click on the order book, 9563. See how that just changed just then? Keep an eye on it. If we want to enter it 9560, it'll adjust it. That's just a quick way of doing it rather than typing it in. But we're going to go long at 9563. We've got 2,220 contracts. And the cost of the trade is 0.023. Now, the cost right here, this is what needs to be 10% of your account balance. So our account balance is 0.23. 10% of that is 0.023. So we actually currently have the correct trade size. If we need to adjust it, we can just adjust the contracts up here. So this is 0.03 now. That's too big a contract size for what we want to trade. So we're bang on 10%. So just have a play around with your quantity, your contract size, until you get your 10% right here. We'll remove post only. I won't go into details about that just now. So that's it. We've got our leverage right. Make sure that is set. We always want to set that first. We want to set our price, and then we want our contract size. And this buy button here is to go long. If we wanted to go short, we would use the red button there. So let's give it a press. Your confirmation page will come up. It'll show your leverage. It will show your order price. So 0.023 is the cost, and we're 10x leverage. So 0.23 is the amount after leverage. It'll show your liquidation price as well. So if you don't have a stop loss, that's where you'll get out the trade and lose everything that you've put on that trade. And that's it. Press buy to confirm. So because price was under what we set our entry at, we got filled straight away. So once that happens, you'll see positions here. So we're in an active trade right now, long on Bitcoin. Easy peasy. Now the next thing you want to do immediately is set a stop loss. In fact, you can actually set a stop loss before you even enter a trade, but let's just go to stop loss. So we want to enter stop market. So if we want to get out, stop market will get us out straight away. And there's a few different stops that you can use. You can adjust trailing stop. You can set a take profit. But stop market price has to actually hit that price before it will trigger stop market. If it hits that price, regardless of if price drops, it will just get you out automatically, close you out. That's what we want. Generally, we'll always use stop market for our stop loss. Alright, so let's just quickly duck back to the chart and see where we want our stop loss. So let's put our stop loss about here, say. Just under that wick, nice and safe. We're on support. Hopefully price will go up from here. If it breaks down there and breaks that previous wick, we'll get stopped out right on 9467. So we want stop market. Make sure it's selected properly. Not stop limit, not trailing stop, but stop market. You can see how that changed there. Just changed the interface a little bit. Stop market is what we want. So what did I say we wanted to stop at? 9467. So type that in there on price, stop loss price. 9467, and make sure the contract size is the same as what you entered. So we have 2,200 contracts going long. We want a stop loss for 2,200 contracts, and this time set sell stop. We are long. We want to press the red button this time for our stop loss. It'll come up with the confirmation page. Sell. Yeah, overload. So if that happens, interesting point. If that happens, just redo it. Stop loss, sell. There we go, order submitted. And you'll see here on the stop loss tab, we now have a stop loss in place for our trade. So we have a running trade to go long. We have a stop loss. If the trade goes against us, this price here is what will take us out. Now sometimes you'll see me trail a stop loss. So if the trade is running in our direction and we want to move our stop loss up, so say we want to move our stop loss up here a little bit to 9518, we can simply adjust our stop loss right here. $9518, give it a tick, and there we go, new stop loss at 9518. But let's just go back here, 9454, let's just put it back there. Press the pencil, 94. What was it actually? I forgot. 9454. Give it a tick. Alright, so you know how to enter a trade, you know how to set a stop loss, and you know how to adjust your stop loss. So that's pretty much it. That's how you get in a trade. Once I post that trade call up, which I showed you just before, this is how you get in the trade. So if we want to get out of the trade, so let's just say price starts moving against us sharply, we can just close the trade down at whatever price it is. So to do that, we can just market close here. This will close us out immediately. Comes up with a confirmation page, press market close, and then you are closed out of the trade. We won't do that, we'll just cancel that now. We want to stay in this trade for a little bit. Once we do that, your stop loss will still actually stay in place, so you just want to cancel your stop loss as well. So if we get out of a trade, we want to get out immediately, market close, and then cancel stop loss as well. Alright, now let's set a profit target. Let's just say things go swimmingly and we want to exit the trade somewhere. Let's exit here. 9838. 9838. So this here, we can set a limit close 9838. Press the blue button, and this will set our close price. Okay, that will just sit there. That order will stay pending until such time as price hits that level, and then bang, we are closed out at 9838, locked in profit. The trade is then complete and finished. You will also still need to remove the stop loss. Alright, so that's it guys. You now know how to enter a trade, how to set a stop loss, how to exit the trade immediately, and also how to set in a take profit order. So this take profit order, this is just a pending active order which will show up in this tab here. And that's it there, 9838. Same deal with your stop loss. If you need to adjust it, we want to set it to 9700. Just adjust it there. There we go. New target. 9700. That's our take profit target. Alright, now one more thing I just want to point out with the stop loss that I didn't cover earlier is when we set the stop loss, so we're in the stop loss tab now, we want to set the trigger to last and also close on trigger. So if we have partial closes or other orders on the same pair, close on trigger will just close the whole trade. It won't leave partial contracts open. You are just fully out of the trade. So just make sure you have those set. Just double check them just before you set your stop loss. Alright, the last thing I'll show you guys, and that will cover this video, which is just the basics of the platform. Bitmex has lots of other functions. It starts getting a little bit more advanced, which I'll do another video at a later date. But the last thing I would just want to show you guys is how to have multiple profit targets and close out some of your trade. So let's just... 9700 is where we set a profit target for. Let's just get rid of that order. So it goes back to how it was. We now don't have a take profit target. So let's just quickly look at the chart. Let's just say we want to have one take profit target at about here. In fact, I'll try and do it so we can get closed out of part of the trade. What is current price? Current price is 9,563. $9,562.5. Alright, so let's just say we want to close half of our trade. We have 2,200 contracts and we want to close out half. Let's just put in 1,100, and what we do then is we close it out. Let's just say we want to close out half the trade at 9,562.5. I just clicked on it there. It shows up here, or you can type it in. So what we want to do then is we actually want to go short at that price. There we go. We are selling 1,100 contracts, which is half of our trade size. And we'll have an active order sit there. You'll get a little dot there that'll show. Let's just see if we get filled in a second. And what you should see is your position size here drop in half. We might be sitting here a while. Let's see. Our order will generally sit there in yellow in the order book until it gets filled. I'll give it a couple of minutes, otherwise. There we go, order filled. So this is our remaining trade, 1,100 contracts. We just sold 1,100, so we have closed half our trade. Okay, so that's how you take partial profits. I usually do have 2 profit targets for my trade calls. That's how you set them to exit at multiple points. So hope that helps, guys. That's the basics. That's all you need to know in the channel to enter and exit trades. Pretty simple. Bitmex do have a testnet site. You can practice before putting your money at risk if you're not comfortable with that. Otherwise, just watch this video a couple of times over, and once you do a couple of trades, you'll be an expert.